British won their war, and the Arab world would be transformed. In the Hejaz, Britain had encouraged the Hashemite ruler Sharif Hussein to revolt against the Turks. By the end of the war, Turkish power in the Arab world was destroyed. So the British and their allies imposed a new settlement on the territories they now dominated. They recognized Sharif Hussein in a kingdom of the Hejaz, and with their help, 2 of his sons would become kings of Transjordan and Iraq. The situation was tense. In 1919, Abdulaziz's soldiers defeated a Hashemite attack at Turaba with great loss. But nonetheless, he remained encircled.
They encircled us from all sides and wanted to destroy us. But Allah made us victorious over them and made His word supreme. He made us victorious by the power of His oneness in our hearts and faith in our minds.
Abdulaziz was hemmed in, but he put the enthusiasm and religious devotion of his soldiers to work, continuing the unification of the country. In 1919, Abdulaziz took over the sovereignty in Asir. And then he settled matters with Hail. He laid siege to the town, and then, after 2 months, he tightened his grip.
King Abdulaziz spent so many years sending them messages, asking them for reconciliation, trying to come to a mutual understanding or to surrender. Nothing came out of it. He gave them so many years.
I strengthened the siege and occupied all the forts and defenses around the town. They then sued for peace and accepted all my terms, and the town with its defenses and garrison are in my hands. Now it has become part of my dominions, and its people my subjects, and there is nothing further to fear from them. I have pardoned them for the past.
To prove it, when he had won, he welcomed the Rashid ruling family and treated them like he treated his own children and cousins.
Now Abdulaziz turned to face a challenge in the West. As ruler of the Hejaz, Sharif Hussein decided to ban people from Nejd from going to Mecca on pilgrimage. A confrontation began. In the Hejaz itself, Hussein's rule was becoming ever more unpopular.
May God not bring that time again. Say amen to that. There were taxes. There was injustice. Uncle Hussein Faiz was an old man. I was considered one of his children, and he used to weep at it. He used to complain that the customs duties added to his taxes reached 20 guineas. At that time, 20 golden guineas were worth a lot. In those days, the taxes were not that much. I wrote a petition to Al-Hussein, who was in Mecca, asking him for mercy. His answer was to double the amount. Either you pay or go to jail. Is that a king? You ask for mercy and he doubles the amount or sends you to jail?
In 1924, Abdulaziz's impatience with Hussein's ban on the pilgrimage ran out, after the collapse of attempts to come to an agreement. His army marched on the Hejaz. After the capture of Taif, the people of the holy city of Mecca held their breath in fear of their lives. They waited as Abdulaziz prepared to take the city. He issued a proclamation guaranteeing the safety of the pilgrimage and the people. 3 months later, he entered the holy city as a Haji himself without a fight. Hussein had abdicated and fled before Abdulaziz's advance. Hussein was succeeded by his son Ali.
I remember the first day he came. He had a big tent near Ma'abda area, and he gave a speech to the people and the leaders of Mecca. He told them, I came here only to serve you and to serve this holy place, and I promise you security and prosperity. I remember he had a big sack full of French silver coins, and he said, I brought my wealth and the wealth of my father and grandfather, and I'm going to spend it all in the path of God. And he really did distribute the wealth. In the beginning, there was some apprehension, but since they knew that there would be nothing except security and stability, they returned to Mecca, and things went back to normal.
On the coast, the port of Jeddah held out. Instead of mounting an assault, Abdulaziz ordered his troops to seal off the town. After a siege lasting a year, Jeddah was handed over. Sharif Ali left the town. Less than a month before, Abdulaziz's son Muhammad had entered Medina peacefully. Having accepted the surrender, Abdulaziz returned to Mecca and declared an end to the war. Hejaz had once been part of the first Saudi state. It was now part of his kingdom. In 1930, Jazan too became part of his kingdom. Abdulaziz had become guardian of the holy places of Islam. He had come a long way from the privations of his desert youth. He had restored his land to the prestige it had lost, becoming the master of Arabia in the process, presiding over the progress of security and religion. Two years on, he would declare his dominions to be a new nation, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It would be his task to forge the diverse peoples of his kingdom into a united nation. He would harness the new technology of the modern world to ensure their prosperity. At a time when almost all Arabs were suffering under colonial rule, his kingdom would be a bastion of independence. And to the last, he would devote his authority and power to the service of his Muslim faith.